Nearly a week after District Court in Sambhal ordered a survey of the Shahi Jama Masjid, the sleepy Uttar Pradesh town has been rocked with violence that has left 5 dead and several others injured. Now, Sambhal's Jama Masjid is a protected monument, having been notified on December 22, 1920 under the Ancient Monuments Preservation Act 1904. It has also been declared as a monument of national importance. At the heart of this controversy is the Places of Worship Act. Initially introduced with the objective of fostering communal harmony and preventing eruption of new Babri-Ram temple-like disputes, it is now in the eye of a storm. What is the Places of Worship Act and why is it so controversial? News9 Plus Decodes. In order to answer this, let us rewind to the 1990s in the aftermath of the Ram Janmabhoomi and Babri Masjid dispute. Enacting the law was part of the Congress's 1991 election manifesto. While introducing it in the parliament, then Home Minister S.B. Chavan said that its enactment will go a long way in helping restore communal amity and goodwill. Paradoxically, the Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid dispute itself was specifically kept outside its purview, and since the matter was being heard by courts. Why is the Places of Worship Act in the news again? A recent court order has trained the spotlight back on the act. A district court allowed a plea filed by advocate Harishankar Jain and others claiming the right to access the Jama Masjid in Sambhal for a survey. The petitioners alleged that the mosque was built in 1526 by Mughal Emperor Babur after demolishing a Hindu temple. In an ideal world, a suit such as the one filed by Jain would be barred under the Places of Worship Act 1991. However, title suits or suit here claiming access or the right to worship have been allowed by courts even as a constitutional challenge to the Places of Worship Act 1991 is pending before the Supreme Court. This is not an isolated order. Similar inspections have been allowed at the Gyanvapi Mosque in Varanasi and the Shahi Idgah Mosque in Mathura. Both in Mathura and Gyanvapi cases, the masjid side has challenged the interpretation of the Places of Worship Act. The claims in all the three disputes essentially seek to change the religious character of a place of worship, something that is prohibited by the Place of Worship Act 1991. What does the Places of Worship Act 1991 say? It says that the religious character of any place of worship, as it existed on August 15, 1947, must be maintained. Section 3 of the Act bars the conversion in full or part of a place of worship of any religious denomination into a place of worship of a different religious denomination or even a different segment of the same religious denomination. What did the Supreme Court say about the Act? The Supreme Court, 5-judge Constitution bench in its Ayodhya Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid judgment in 2019 made an observation that in effect weakened the very Act. Historical wrongs cannot be remedied by the people taking the law in their own hands. In preserving the character of places of public worship, Parliament has mandated in no uncertain terms that history and its wrongs shall not be used as instruments to oppress the present and the future. In May 2022, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has said that although changing the nature of the religious places barred under the 1991 law, the ascertainment of a religious character of a place as a processual instrument may not necessarily fall foul of the provisions of Section 3 and 4 of the very Act. In other words, an inquiry into what is the nature of the place of worship was on August 15, 1947 can be allowed even if the nature cannot be subsequently changed. What is the current status of the Act? At present, the Supreme Court currently has before it 4 petitions challenging the Places of Worship Act. In September 2022, a bench headed by then Chief Justice of India U.U. Lalit had directed the government to file a response on its stand within 2 weeks. However, the centre is yet to file its affidavit. The jury is out. The apex court is yet to hear final arguments to decide whether the 1991 Act bars even the filing of such pleas. Till then, politics will keep happening over the Places of Worship Act.